So hello everyone. Today we would like to talk about the e-commerce retailing and services. We will follow as the contents that you are seeing. And at first, now we will discover about the retail online sector. Here, according to this slide that you are seeing, these are the 7 major segments of retail industries grouped by US Census Bureau in 2012. They are divided into 7 segments, and in this 7 segment, the motor segment is the most similar to the online retail sales. And it can be said that the loss due to the development of the credit card, this can be considered as the last technological retailing revolutions that preceded e-commerce. And the rapid and the traditions of the motto make it easy for transitions to the e-commerce. About the online retailing, what can we talk about this? This is considered to be the most high-profile e-commerce sector. The online retailing is experienced both explosive growth and spectacular failure. This is due to the contrast of the predictions advanced during the early years of e-commerce with the reality of e-commerce today. So look at the table. We have the compare table of the predictions and visions versus the reality. For the predictions, they say that for the e-commerce and the online retailing specifically, is about the price transparency and brutal price competitions, low entry costs, lower operational costs for online firms, lower customer acquisition costs, first mover advantages, traditional offline merchants out of business, disintermediations and channel disruptions and conflict. However, the reality turns out that most of these predictions was mostly wrong, despite the erroneous forecasts by the consultants, professors, journalists, industry market researchers, and Wall Street analysts. Online retail is a robust and viable business. Price competition has increased, but price dispersion has not disappeared. Customers appear to be willing to pay extra for trusted brand, and there are many opportunities for branding on the web. Social and local commerce and the mobile platform are creating even more new opportunities. According to the Brynjolfsson, Dick and Smith 2004, the consumer is not primarily price-driven when shopping on the internet, but instead considers brand name, trust, reliability, delivery time, convenience, ease of use, and above all, the experience, as at least as important as price. The appearance of omnichannel has also disapproved the predictions of the disintermediations and channel disruptions and conflict. For example, the direct online automobile sales is not common due to the complexity of vehicle purchasing process, or for the clothing shoppers tend to identify more strongly with a specific brand, and they want to know that they want to go straight to the store and touch the material before buying a pants or a shirt. And on the second part, we will discuss about the viability of the online firms. Firstly, is from the strategic analysis. Viability here is also like the economic viability. This is the ability of firms to survive as a profitable business firms during the specific period. With this strategic analysis is that we analyze the competitive situations of firm, focus on both the industry in which the firm operates and the firm itself. From the industry perspective, we care about the barriers to entry, the power of suppliers and customer, the existence of substitute products, and industry value chain, and the nature of intra-industry competitions. And specifically, when we come to the firm's perspective, we care about the firm's value chain, core competencies, synergies, technology, socials, and legal challenges. And now we consider this. We have the second analysis is about the financial analysis. Financial analysis is the fact how firm is performing. And for the financial, we care about 2 parts of the firms. Is the statement of operations, or also usually called the income statement, because we care about the gain and loss of the firms. And the second part is the balance sheet. Balance sheet is also called the statement of financial positions of the firm. We consider the assets to support the current and future operations. In general, we look at the firm's net margin over time to understand how well the firm is performing and whether or not the firm is scaling. We would like to see net margins improve over time positively as a firm achieves size and scale of economy in their operations. Firms that fail this test are in serious difficulty even if revenues are growing rapidly. On the balance sheets, we look first at whether the firm's current assets exceeds the current liability and by how much. Obviously, if a firm cannot pay current liabilities, it is a candidate for bankruptcy. Second, we look at the long-term debt and growth. In some cases, long-term debt can become a significant liability for a firm interest payments consume operating profits. You may wish to augment the case analysis by having students update the operating results to see the current quarter.
My name is Phương, and the next part I will discuss about the main types of online retail business models, as well as the e-commerce vision for the service sector. The first one, there are four main types of online retail business models. The first type is virtual merchants, which are single-channel e-commerce firms that generate most of their revenue from the online sales. Although they do not have to bear any costs associated with the developing and maintaining physical stores, however, they face large costs in e-commerce platforms, building an order fulfillment infrastructure, and developing a brand name. The second type is omni-channel merchants, sometimes referred to as brick and clicks. Those companies have both physical stores and online offerings. They face high costs of physical buildings and large-scale startups. However, they have many advantages, such as a brand name, a national customer base, warehouse, large-scale and highly skilled staff. The third type is catalog merchants, which are established companies that have a national offline catalog operation as well as developed online capabilities. The catalog firms are uniquely advantaged because they also possess very efficient order entry and fulfillment systems. The last type is manufacturer direct firms, which are either single or multi-channel manufacturers that sell directly online to consumers without the intervention of retailers. A very well-known example for manufacturer direct firm is Nike. So the first part, I will discuss about the service sector in offline and online vision. So when it comes to e-commerce, when it comes to e-commerce, there's a very promising sector that we cannot miss out, the service sector. We live in a service economy which accounts for 72% of total economic activities. Those companies can be further categorized into those that involve transaction brokering, acting as an intermediary to facilitate a transaction. For example, one type of financial service involves stock brokering who act as a middle person in a transaction between buyers and sellers. In contrast, some industries perform specific hands-on activities for consumers. To provide their service, those professionals need to interact directly with the client. For those, the opportunities for e-commerce are somewhat different. Currently, doctors cannot treat patients over the internet. However, internet can assist their services by providing consumer with information, knowledge, and communication. Unlike medical industry, financial services are not so knowledge intensive, but require much larger investment in information processing just to keep track of transactions and investments. In fact, the financial services sector is the largest investor in information technology. Further expansion of e-services will depend on the ability of e-commerce firms to transform their customized services into truly personalized services, such as providing unique advice and consultation based on a digital that intimates understanding of their client.
So we will discuss about the financial services. Online financial services sector is a shining example of an e-commerce success story, but one with many twists and turns. But the success is somewhat different than what had been predicted in the early days of e-commerce. Today, the multi-channel established financial firms are growing the most rapidly and have the best prospect for long-term viability. Next. Online banking provides significant savings for banks. Established brand name national banks have taken substantial lead in market share. For example, over half of the US adults use online banking. Multi-channel firms that have both physical branches and solid online offerings have assumed market leadership over pure online firms. Multi-channel firms are growing faster than pure online firms, lower online customer acquisition costs. On the other hand, pure online firms cannot provide all services that require face-to-face interaction. Despite a rocky start, the online mortgage market is slowly growing. It is dominated by established online banks and other online financial services firms, traditional market vendors, and a few successful online market firms. Terms like insurance stand out as one product group supporting the early vision of lower search costs, increased price transparency, and the resulting consumer savings. However, in other insurance product lines, the web offers insurance companies new opportunities for products and service differentiation and price discrimination. The early vision that the historical, complex and agent-driven real estate industry would be transformed into a disintermediated Marketplace where buyers and sellers could transact directly has not been realized. The major impact of the online real estate industry is in influencing offline purchases, and the primary service is a listing of available houses with secondary links to the market lenders, credit reporting agents, neighborhood information, loans calculators, appraisal reports, sale price histories by neighborhood, school district data, and crime reports. The next service we talk about is online travel service. It is one of the most successful B2C e-commerce segments. Online travel service revenue in 2015 is almost $170 billion, and more travel is booked online than offline. For consumer, more convenient than traditional travel agents, and for suppliers, it is a singular, focused customer pool that can be efficiently reached through on-site advertising. Internet has become the most common channel used by consumers to research travel options and book reservations for airline tickets, rental cars, hotel rooms, and tours. Nowadays, social media content reviews have an increasingly influence on travel purchases.
I'm Feng Hua, and another point that we want to present in this chapter is the online career services. It is one of the internet's most successful online service that provide a free posting of individual resumes, plus many other related career services. So traditionally, companies have relied on 5 employee recruitment tools. The first one is classify and print advertising. It usually includes a per word chart that limits the amount of detail employers provide about a job opening with limited time period. The second one is career expo that don't allow for pre-screening of attendees and are limited by the amount of time that the recruiter can spend with each candidate. Firm also use on-campus recruiting that restrict the number of candidates a recruiter can speak with during a normal visit. And 2 other tools are private employment agency and internal referral programs. So online recruiting will help overcome these limitations and providing a more efficient and cost-effective means of linking employers and potential employees. Next slide, please. You see that recruitment sites are popular nowadays because they save time and money for both job hunters and employers seeking recruit. Online sites also provide a number of educational services such as resume writing advice and interview tips. Perhaps one of the most important functions of online recruitment sites is their ability to establish a market price and terms, as well as trends in the labor market. Today, we can see some rising trends of the online recruitment industry. The first trend is social recruiting. Social network sites are also being used by employers to check up on the background of job candidates. A typical example is LinkedIn. More than 3 million companies have a LinkedIn page. Users are using site to establish business contacts and networks. For instance, according to LinkedIn, its members do almost 6 billion professionally oriented search on LinkedIn a year. The second trend is mobile device were the primary device used by millennials. To reach the audience, Career Builder, LinkedIn, and most of the other major sites all have a mobile website, as well as apps that allow job seekers to create and upload resumes, search jobs, and apply, and more. 3 other trends are job search engines, data analytics, and hiring by algorithm. In Vietnam, there are several popular recruiting sites like Top CV, Whitebox, Vietnam Work that catch the trend and easily connect employer and job hunters. And another type of online service that recently become popular is the on-demand service companies. They are a platform that enable the on-demand delivery of various service by connecting providers who wish to exploit their spare resources, such as cars, room with beds, and ability to perform various services by their personal label, with consumers who like to utilize the resources and services. A number of these on-demand service firms have grown exponentially over the last 5 years. Grab and Airbnb are among the most successful and well-known on-demand service companies. Grab offers a variety of different services such as Grab Buy, Grab Car, and Grab Share, a ride-sharing service that allows users to share a ride with another person who happens to be going to the same place, or Grab Express, a same-day delivery service, and Grab Food, a food delivery service. So Grab doesn't actually sell any goods. Instead, it has created a smartphone-based platform that enables people who want a service, like a taxi, to find a provider with the resources, such as a personal automobile and a driver with available time to fill the demand. Collaborative commerce, trading platform, and peer-to-peer commerce are not new, but what is new about the firm is their use of mobile and internet technology to enable transactions on their platforms. Besides, the growth of these firms is supported by the use of online reputation system based on peer reviews to establish a trusted environment where seller and consumer can feel confident transacting with one another, learn from eBay and Netflix. A third factor is that successful firms lower the cost of service like urban transportations, office space, and personal errand services.
Okay, so there seem to be a lot of things to remember, but we have summed up a few keywords for you here to help you understand the structure of our lesson. Firstly, we learned about the environment in which the online retail sector operates today. The retail industry can be divided into 7 major firm types: general merchandise, durable goods, specialty store, food and beverage, gasoline and fuel, motor, and online retail firms. Online consumers are brand different and influenced by perceived value. Online market entry costs were underestimated. Although traditional firms are taking over as the top online retail sites, and finally, online retailing has become an example of the powerful role that intermediaries play in retail trade. Next, we talk about the economic viability of an online firm, including key industry strategic factors, firm strategic factors, and key financial factors. We also identify the challenges faced by different types of online retailers, namely virtual merchants, omni-channel merchants, catalog merchants, and manufacturer direct merchants. We then describe the major features of the online service sector and discuss the trends in the online financial, travel, and career services industry. Finally, we talk about the business models of on-demand service companies with the example of Uber and Airbnb. So I hope that we can learn something through our summary. Thank you for your listening. And please like, share, and subscribe.